Did Ben Shapiro just declare jihad on Islam with this new film? We saw the trailer to this film. It's looking like a deadly one, like Citizen Vigilante. Don't know why I said it like that, but it's looking like that, where it's like a movie, a B grade movie, you know, which is actually talking about real life. In fact, it's not a movie; it's a documentary, so to speak. Let's see what Ali Tabrazi's got to say about this. Let's see, because this has been
Welcome
crazy.
back to the show, everyone. I
September it drops.
hope you're all doing well. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about the controversial new movie from the Daily Wire called Run, Hide, Fight, Infidels. Now, if you haven't already heard, this movie is causing quite the controversy. And understandably, there are many people within the Islamic world that want to shut this movie down. So we're going to talk about that in just a second. But first up, I thought it'd be cool to watch the trailer together for the first time, see what the hype is all about, and go from there. Let's go.
I will watch.
Your country is being in contempt.
We who love and serve Allah fought back against the Americans and the Zionists from the scourge of secularism and the lands of unbelief.
Anyone gonna listen to Captain Saunders tomorrow? The retired Delta Force soldier with a new book out.
He's the polar opposite of those brain-dead protesters.
Given the current climate, should Clay Saunders even be allowed on campus?
Mr. Saunders is...
It's like such a clever idea because it's like ex-soldier who's going to be on campus, and that's the campus that gets taken over by, like, you know, terrorists.
a close personal friend of Chancellor Friedman. This is a
And do you know what's actually quite sad about this? It could be real.
decision I cannot fight.
There are three ways Islam will conquer the West. Through immigration, through the wombs of our women, and by using our nation's freedoms against us. Are you paying attention?
Listen carefully. The great Satan, America, will fall.
Good Lord.
You are infidels. The bodies of women are not pure, and men's souls are unclean.
What makes them so dangerous? Their goals are not in this life, but the next.
It's like kill in this life, next life you get virgins.
I got friends here. I can't
Dead
just
to
leave.
me.
Listen to me.
We cannot run or hide from what is coming. We have to fight.
I will be rewarded 10,000 times in the next life. When you die, you're nothing. Only one way to find out.
That's the American way.
Deadly, bro.
Okay, all right. Honest reactions. My mind is going in
Deadly. They're clearly sending a message.
two different directions. There's the filmmaker in me, and then there's the YouTuber in me that spends all his days basically exposing the horrors of Islam. And they have two very different takes on this movie. So which one do you want first? I don't know which one to do first. Okay, so first up, let's talk about the good things, which I can see in this movie. It is accurately portraying the reality of Islamic terrorism on the big screen.
Crazy. And I think that's, if not the number one selling point on this, it's actually true, like based on, you know, not this is a true story, but this could be, bro. This is what Islamic terrorists do. Allah Akbar, and they blow themselves up. It's not like non-fiction or like fantasy. You know what I mean? It hasn't just come out of nowhere.
Kind of Hollywood-esque, well, I'll get to that in a minute.
Hollywood-esque.
In a kind of dramatized
100%.
environment where at least audiences that may not otherwise watch the kind of footage that we show on this show, where you're talking about, you know, real footage of these terrorists going and massacring people, because it's fictionalized, it might be more palatable for people to realize that, yes, actually,
Yeah.
this is what Islam believes. And the dialogue.
That's I think why it's very devastating to Islam as a whole, because that's why the Islamists would want to stop it. It's like because it's gonna actually show this is what a bunch of Islamic terrorists do. This is the mindset. This is how they roll.
Seems to be very on the nose, and so audience members will be hearing words like infidel and kafir and hearing some of the theology of Islam,
unbeliever,
but in the safe space of a kind of dramatized theatrical kind of representation of Islam. And it has been a while.
That's dumb. That's got to be the most dumbest thing. He rolled a grenade in, and it just blew up on the aisle. No one got injured, even on the aisle.
Dramatized theatrical kind of representation.
Really, everyone here on the side of on this grenade, done, right?
Of Islam.
Everyone here on the side, finished, right? They're all right though.
And it has been a while since we have had a movie really portraying that on screen in a very kind of clear way, where you actually understand, okay, these aren't just like ambiguous kind of people from the Middle East that are the villains. No, like the reason why this is happening is purely because of Islamic theology, Islamic belief system.
It's deadly. Yeah, this is again another point on why it's so detrimental to Islam as a whole, because it's actually exposing the theology as well, which a lot of people don't actually realize. It's what it is. That's why I say, like, a lot of the Muslims that in the West, they're actually like modernized Western Muslims. They're not radical Islamists. You know what I'm saying?
And this is a genuine threat to the West. They have been making serious progress in infiltrating the West for many decades now. And the time is up to really just be sitting idly by. You can't just, what's the title, right? You can't run or hide anymore. It may now just be the time to fight this. And so, credit where credit's due.
Okay.
There's
Give me a
very
second.
strong kind of activistic kind of reason for this movie, which I see the benefit of. Okay. Now, let's move on to the more filmmakery side of me. The filmmakery side of me can't help but watch this and go, okay, this is not art. This is kind of like anti-Islam propaganda. And I think we can be honest about that. It's anti-Islam entertainment. Okay. And maybe that's okay. I don't know. You're right. There's plenty of propaganda coming from the other direction. So this is a bit of pushback, right? So this is kind of starting to erode some of the kind of political correctness that has really dominated Hollywood for so long. Okay, it's like, well, whatever with you guys, we're now going to make our own movies independently, and we're going to, throw caution to the wind with all your political correctness stuff. We're just going to go for it. And so, there is a bit of that going on, but it just feels a bit on the nose, right? So what is beneficial to the kind of activist side of this and the campaigning aspect of this, of it being on the nose, where you can't misdiagnose the reason why this is happening.
I agree with him.
The person in me,
I agree with him.
The beauty.
I won't lie. Sorry for the delay on the pause, but yeah, I would agree with him. It's like literally on the nose, and it's like it's showing up Islam for what it is. But like he says, it is actually like, it's all right. We shouldn't like shy away from that. We should be able to do it. Do you remember the Da Vinci Code and what it done to Christianity? Do you remember that? That was a massive, massive movie. You know what I'm saying? So, like, did you get it? And this is actually true. Like, not actually true, but based on what's happened before. Like, it's not far-fetched. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it should be fair game, and we should all be able to say the story and do that. But I do also agree with him. It's like, clearly it's pointing at like, this is what they're doing,
Cinema, filmmaking, where the audience has to do the work and figuring stuff out as they're watching it.
This is like, clearly who the bad guy is. This is filmed from a perspective of, we're the good guys, that's the bad guy. Like we true. And like we say as well, is like it's happened as well on the contrary, it's happened on vice versa. There's many ways that it's happened as well. So it should be okay overall. But it's like it seems, sorry I'm going on a rant, but it seems like, what, is Islam not able of critique, or is it like it can't tolerate critique, or what is this? You know what I'm saying? So we start going into that conversation. So we can see.
This feels a little bit...
Also we can see throughout historical acts throughout history, we can see it clearly is not tolerant. Salman Rushdie, satanic verses and all that. We could see stuff just from that perspective. So Charlie Hebdo and all that. So
like from a cinematic point of view, it's kind of insulting the intelligence of the audience a bit. It's kind of just spelling things out a bit too literally for it to satisfy that kind of inner movie lover.
It's not for your, like, you're gonna watch it and go, yeah, this is Oscar award winning stuff. No, they're clearly saying a message here with the movie, and they're gonna show you that these are the bad guys. So you could see from the lens that they're coming from. I get what Hallie's saying. It's not like a blockbuster hit that any normie is gonna go sit down and watch. No, it's like this is a clear, like, sort of like a political movie.
And so, yeah, it just feels corny. Like if you can understand that I'm trying to entertain two aspects of this, it feels a bit corny, feels cliche. The acting feels good enough based on the trailer. The dialogue is good enough.
It'll be just like half par. It'll be like that basic.
The cinematography feels, again, good enough. And you've got to recognize that, okay, this is like an independent production, really. But it's not, it's not cutting edge. It's not something that I think people will be watching again.
No, of course not. It's part of the same series of Citizen Vigilante, right? I think it's part of that, which is, again, another controversial movie based on real life events.
And again, or even in a year from now, I think this feels kind of like factory produced, almost like, let's just get this movie out. Let's not really worry about the complexities of telling a really unique or powerful story.
It's like, here's the enemy, it's Islam, look at this, very bad, whoa, you know what I'm saying? But is that bad to do? Is that in essence, are they lying? Is the story what they're saying completely far-fetched? Come on. It should be okay to say stories like this, because it's actually... Do you know what it is? It's a sort of situation of too soon. Is that too soon? Too soon? Too soon I shouldn't make a movie about an activist who gets sniped in the neck? Too soon. Too soon. Is it one of them, or, you know?
It does feel like
the sort of vibe I get.
Yeah, a campaign piece. Right? That's my initial understanding. Now, I just want to go back to a few little details I noticed in this movie.
About that.
So, well, first up, the university I noticed is called Lawton, however you pronounce that. Is that like a little...
Loughton. I would say that as Loughton.
Inside joke there from the Daily Wire crew, that university...
I would say it's Loughton. Fuck, man. Conspiracy theories are everywhere, innit? I don't know, bro.
Universities are now just a laugh, like they're a joke. A ton of laughs, a ton of jokes. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking into that too much.
I
find it interesting that they cast the main protagonist as this black guy. No issues with casting black people.
He's a good actor. He's a known actor. Or right? I feel like I've seen him before. In my mind, I don't know.
But from the Daily Wire, who have been very vocal against the sort of DEI-ness of Hollywood and just always casting black people for political correctness reasons, it feels like they may have cast this guy as a black dude.
He's right. He's right.
Political correct.
I feel like if it would have been a white man, it could be worse. Like, the message might be missed, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I get it. I really do.
His purpose is so that any movie critics who might go, this is a racist movie, you just hate brown people,
yeah,
right?
But
if the protagonist was white, they could say, well, we're clearly not racist. Don't you know we cast a black person to be the protagonist? Don't you know he's black?
I fully second that. Yeah, I get that.
Can you see how black he is? So there may be a little bit of that going on where the Daily Wire have decided to kind of indulge
agree.
that kind of
would
game a
agree.
little bit. So that's just something else I noticed. What else is there? Yeah, I don't know. It seems okay. I'd be interested in watching it, but I remember when the other movie came out. What was it? Citizen Vigilante or something.
Yeah.
That when I watched enough of that, I didn't watch it all, but I watched a lot of it.
Yeah.
Again, it just feels very on the nose. It all kind of feels very
It's cheesy. They're cheesy movies. There's no denying about that. There's, it's cheesy. You ain't gonna get no nuance and some sort of side character, depth which encompasses the whole. No. You ain't getting none of that in this. This is telling you what it is. Go find that somewhere else. Honestly, that you ain't gonna watch these movies and look for like depth in cinematography. No, you wouldn't. That would be fucking silly. These are movies that are basically political movies. That's what they are. These are movies that are people that are trying to get their message across, right? People not getting their message, so they said, okay, let's simplify it for the dummies. Just the same as biblical paintings did for the illiterate before. It's like that sort of vibe.
Oh, how do I even get this across? It kind of feels like a Happy Meal at McDonald's. It kind of feels like
It's a Happy Meal.
you're just giving the right wing the little dopamine hit of finally having a hero shoot a Muslim or something, and there's a kind of bloodlust for it.
Yeah, and it wasn't Muslim. It was on Citizen Vigilante. It wasn't that. It was like illegal immigrants. And again, like him, I didn't watch it all, to be honest, because you see what it is. You see what the movie is. You go, ow, because you get it. But that's what's more devastating than actually the movie itself is the message that it sends. Some people need to watch the whole movie to get it. Some people don't even understand what the fuck's going on. Some people see it and they go, they know exactly what they're doing. It just depends where you are, the level you're at in life, essentially, really. But yeah, you ain't gonna watch this and go, someone better call that Titanic guy and tell him, Avatar 15 needs to be done in, the back streets of, Mile End and that. No one does that.
There's a kind of
There's a cutting edge,
there's a desire there to see Muslims suffer, and filmmaking from kind of right wing kind of producers are trying to satisfy that in the audience maybe, and I'm not saying that makes them worse or whatever, because you get other Hollywood movies are constantly putting white men down and making them the villains. So
I'm saying, and it's like that will be like the main movies. The main movies will be like, the man, it's just like it, that propaganda. But then this side, it's actually kind of weird when you look at it. Before it was the other way around, almost. From my perspective, it's like it was the other way around. Like the fringe and the little thing, that was the one that was trying to break in. Now it's like they control the market. It's actually quite weird and really, really fucking strange. Overall, I think it's retarded.
It is what it is, but so far I'm not like loving. I'm not loving all of this. I don't know what it is about it. There's just the inner filmmaker in me is just desperate for something just magnificent and beautiful.
Yeah, no, that won't. You're not gonna find that in these movies, my brother. Honestly, he needs to make it. You need to make it yourself, Ali. You do it. You make it, because that's what you. It seems to be your calling. You ain't gonna actually find that, because ultimately the reason why this doesn't feel right is because it's challenging another group. And the group in question are known actually for these attacks. They're known for doing this in real life. You know what I mean? It's in real life, people. The London Bridge stabbing, for example, in real life it happened. Blowing up 9/11 and the buses here, and it happened. You know what I mean? It's not like you can put your tinfoil hat on and say, it was this Illuminati, whatever. But they claimed the thing for it. They said Allahu Akbar as well on top of that. Like it's like So I feel like that has a big part.
Beautiful and enriching, and deep and inspiring. And we get
I feel like that's why a lot of animosity would be towards a sort of project like this. But then when we see stuff like the Da Vinci Code, where it's like literally tearing apart Christianity, saying all these wild sort of claims, and that's all right. That's fine. That's like a blockbuster hit. All I would say is like that should be okay the other way around. That one's a fantasy. That's a fantasy. This is actually reality. Like it happened. Maybe, like I said, too soon. Is it too soon to be speaking about it? You know, are we like that, or like what is this, bro? Or is it like an intolerance? Is it like a level of like they're actually intolerant of critique? This is what I feel like the world is slowly unraveling about Islam. You know what I mean? Not like Islam is new, but in the grand scheme of things, it really is. So, yeah, no. That's what I think.
But there's like, the characters aren't just one-dimensional caricatures of like, I am Islamic jihadist. America would have fallen. I just want it to be a little bit more, like, help me understand this person more.
You need to write it, bro. Do it.
I don't know. Am I asking too much? Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
No, 100%. You need to do it, mama. Like 100%, you need to do it. It seems like he has a vision. It seems like he has a plan. He has this, and how it should be. And do it. You should do it. Implement it, man, bro. Like, full blessings from the community. Like, what the hell?
So that's, I think, a fair review between like the kind of the campaigning element to this and the kind of filmmaking quality of this. Let me know what you think down below. Am I being unreasonable? Do you see where I'm coming from? I would genuinely be curious to hear your views. And so, yeah, comment that down below. Anyway, now let's move on to what Ben Shapiro had to say about some of the pushback, and also hear from what Mehdi Hassan had to say about this. Now,
oh yeah, Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro.
Mehdi Hassan is basically the guy that every now and again comes out, gaslights the public, does his taqiyya lies, whitewashes the face of Islam, and appeases the establishment to favor Islam. And recently came out and basically called the Grape Gang report, I believe, from Rupert Lowe. He called it BS and said that the claim that 250,000 white British working class girls were being sexually exploited by predominantly Pakistani men was false. And said that it was inciting.
Also, it's like the mayor as well, isn't it? The mayor of London, being a Pakistani man, utterly denied it as well. It's quite astonishing, to a level where it's like not even looking. Like that's mad, bro. Like, you know, everyone's looking and everyone can see, bro. That's mad, bro. Man didn't even look, didn't even check it out. He didn't. Nah, he just assumed it's wrong. Last 70 years, nah, it's all bullshit and it's all Islamophobia. Come on, my bro. Islamophobia cannot exist. That's an impossibility. You can't be phobic towards an ideology. What? What are we doing here?
Violence against Muslims.
It's like saying I'm Christian phobic. Huh? No, it doesn't happen.
Despite the fact that we know that this is accurate and actually is an extreme underestimate of the true numbers across the UK, across Europe, especially if you look
that's the conservative
over a wider span of time. This is an epidemic of huge proportions. And so anyway, let's see say about all of this, and here's some of the words from
you know, I'll preface this with I'm not even really a fan of Ben Shapiro. There's points, and again, I would always refer to, there's points that I agree with and I disagree with, just like a lot of people that I, you know, watch or whatever I engage. Like I agree with stuff and I disagree with stuff. I think that's fine. I feel like there's a group of people out here that are like, you gotta like this or you gotta like that. If you like this, then you gotta hate that. Like, I really don't get that mentality, bro.
Ben Shapiro as well. Let's go.
After more than 10 years of ignoring little old me, Ben Shapiro finally devoted an entire 13-minute video to responding to a tweet of mine. See, the co-founder and editor emeritus of the now struggling Daily Wire got triggered by a tweet from me calling the Daily Wire's new action movie, Run, Hide, Fight Infidels, bigoted, Islamophobic, and cliched. I mean, just look at the trailer about an ISIS attack on a US college campus, which begins with references to Allah, moves on to images of Muslims on prayer mats, and ends with the literal Islamic call to prayer. How many lazy, sweeping Islamophobic tropes can you squeeze into a single 2-minute trailer?
He's right.
Shapiro got very defensive in a video that he posted to YouTube on Friday about me and his movie.
Mehdi Hassan did what you would expect. Mehdi Hassan, an import from Al Jazeera and a spokesperson for Qatar, it is difficult to come up with a more bigoted, Islamophobic, and cliched trailer than this one. Okay, so I have a question. Why is it Islamophobic to point out what ISIS actually does and says? It turns out that he's going to have to explain to me how an Islamic terror group...
That's what I'm saying. This is where it gets a little bit weird, because it's like, why? Are we not able... Too soon? Again, I go back to my too soon. Is it too soon? Oh, is it too soon for you fairies? Because it actually happened. Or similar actions actually happened. And it's too soon for us to speak about it. Nah. I feel like, nah, you're being like a bitch. You're being a little bitch about that, bro. Because if you had the option, you could do it about any other faith to make Islam look good, you would do it. There's no if, buts, or maybe about that. That's what it is. That's how Islam is. It's like dominance. So, you know, let's not, you know, play and fuck around here. We know. I know you're preying on, like, people that don't know. But people that know, that have read and understand, you know, we know. So, let's not be silly.
That is literally doing everything that is done in the movie, is done by Islamic terror groups all over the world. Why is depicting those people on screen Islamophobic? He's going to explain how that actually implicates all of Islam. Does it?
It's crazy.
I mean, if it does, then maybe Mehdi should explain.
That's
Why
crazy.
is it Islamophobic to literally just quote ISIS doing ISIS things?
Happy to explain, Ben.
He's right.
Because, you gaslighter, the trailer that you just showed...
Man said you gaslighter. He literally looks like Wallace or Gromit. I don't know which one, bro.
Your viewers moments earlier
the
doesn't
human
just
one.
quote ISIS doing ISIS things.
Actually,
it
both.
shows the main character, the hero, the ex-American Special Forces soldier, played by Jonathan Majors, the actor who incidentally was convicted of assaulting and harassing his former girlfriend. It shows him saying, this is about Islam, not ISIS. Islam.
There are three ways Islam will conquer the West.
Like
Through immigration.
Again, probably another victim, bro. Another victim of someone who hasn't actually read the Quran. He might be trying to defend it. He might be a leading spokesman in the word of the Quran and defending the Islamic faith. But he hasn't actually read the Quran. He doesn't follow the Sunnah. So what he thinks that we're doing, or what these movie makers are doing by exposing it in such a very cheesy way, like, he thinks that that's all made up. No, he doesn't realize that that's actually in the Sunnah. So he doesn't follow. Not really a Muslim. You know what I'm saying? So when you really look at it like that, it's like, what the hell are you defending, my brother?
Through the wombs of our women.
What's going on?
And by using our nation's freedoms against us.
That isn't Islamophobic. Islam will conquer the West by taking advantage of American women. Shapiro totally...
No, that's accurate. Your own imams preach it. Your own Quran preaches it. Your own hadith.
That's what I'm saying.
It's preach it.
He obviously that he hasn't read. Another victim, like I've said, of someone who's doggedly defending a cult, essentially, without actually reading what the cult is about. Classic human, like a classic human bozo.
You guys preach it secretly to yourselves. We have you all on camera. Yes, this is the time-tested model of expansion of Islam for 1,400 years.
Yeah.
What's the surprise here? No, it's not Islamophobic. It's accurate. It's fact-based. Why hide from it? Okay.
Yeah,
it is truly amazing. The arrogance of...
Again, it would be, I would put it down to arrogance, maybe ignorance. Maybe he's a bozo where he hasn't really grown up in a place where he's defending, hasn't really had to grow up in the shit society that he's escaped from, or his grandparents or his parents have escaped from. You know, like me, thank God, you know, didn't have to grow up in squalor or whatever, you know. My grandfather worked for us to be here. You know what I'm saying? So and I appreciate that. But it seems like his anti that is like he's come here for that reason. And again, he doesn't even really know what that reason is because he hasn't even read the books. But he's doggedly defending. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we find ourselves in a situation where it's like, why are you actually defending? Yeah, no, it's peaceful, religion of peace. No, but you haven't read. We've read it. Like, we know. That's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of Muslims, when we come and we start saying stuff like, you know, like, why are you going to believe in a prophet that slept with a 9-year-old, bro? That's messed up, bro. That's like pedophilia. When you start saying stuff like that, they get, like, shocked. Like, utterly shocked, like you've insulted them. Like, you have literally made that up. When it's as if it's not written in their scriptures, in their own scriptures. It's as if it's not written in their own scriptures. As if we're just saying it to piss you off. Like, that's how small-minded it is with this a majority of these people in this community. Like I've said, the ones in the West, the ones that have grew up here in the West, like Europe, UK, USA, whatever, them lot, they're cool, bro. I wouldn't even really consider them Muslim, to be honest, bro. And I know for sure that Islamic terrorists that are elsewhere, other than the West, they would see them as an enemy as well. They would say, nah, you're unbeliever, you're kuffar, because you've been in the, you know, it's like that. So it's like a messed up sort of thing. But then you got those ones that haven't really read the book, doggedly defending it, not knowing what they're defending. You know, it's like, what the fuck? Sort of thing. And Mahdi over here, he for sure is one of them, bro. You could see. Look at his face.
Of people from the Islamic world
hasn't
to
read
come
it.
into the
Doesn't
West.
know. He just thinks,
West,
nah, it's just white people being racist to Muslims. Like, it's just another case of white people being racist to Muslims and not knowing, like, the Islamic history, not knowing Islamic conquest and domination that actually is written in the text itself. That is to dominate, is to take over everyone is second to Islam, you know. So it's not like let's live and be bygones and live peacefully. No. It's a religion of domination. So, it, you know, clearly not compatible with the West. You know, that's what we say. That's clearly what it is, what we see.
Unbelievably from Islam, the terrorism, the jihad, all the security protocols that we all now have to have everywhere, the security forces and the billions that they swallow up just monitoring.
You think you could go on like the tube or the underground and just go Allahu Akbar? Nah, everyone would leave in panic and in fear, thinking that they're going to blow up and lose their lives. And what they're saying, Allahu Akbar, is God is greatest. How? What sort of darkness is this? Do you know what I'm saying?
Terrorist activity
really look at that.
of these people in their own
It's
countries.
dark, really.
The FGM, the acid attacks, the honor killings, the inbreeding now taking effect in Western nations. Someone like Mehdi Hassan, right, in the West, has the arrogance and the audacity to complain that how dare people in the West raise any concern over Islam.
It's crazy.
Meanwhile,
it's almost like as if it cannot be critiqued. And that, for me, is very fucking angering. I think it's very angering to everyone. Like, and I think everyone's beginning to understand, like, and be like, what? This isn't actually them just being no. They're undercover and they want to take over. It's like a sort of darkness. But do you know what's worse? Is the majority of them haven't even read the text. They're just following. They're just going. Oh, no. And they're going with the idea in their mind that, no, this is all peaceful. Unknowingly, you know, destroying, unknowingly pillaging, unknowingly, you know, ruining other lives, you know, with that madness, with that fervor, with that. You look at Detroit, Dearborn, Detroit, it's becoming a ruin. It's like almost like they run from the shithole to another place, which is not a shithole, to make the place that they've run to like the shithole from the shithole that they've run from. That's what we call cancer.
No one from the West is able to go to their countries in the Middle East and complain about how their movie.
We can't go Saudi Arabia and go, oh man, why is there no churches here? Why can't we, like, you know, why can't we be sitting out here preaching the word of the Lord? Why you gotta kill us for doing that? But here it's fine. In the West it's fine. Tolerance. They will use your tolerance against you. There will be a time when the gate is closed, and then they'll start proper weeping. proper gnashing the teeth.
These are not representing Christians very well. Where's our representation in government? Why don't you have more Christian white people? Where's your diversity? Why don't you open up the borders, Pakistan? Why don't you open up the borders, Iran? How dare you? I'm just going on and on endlessly about how the governments are fascist. No, because if anyone from America dared to do that in Iran, they would be shot dead immediately. They would be hung from a crane. They'd be kept as a hostage and tortured for years.
That's what they do.
The audacity of these people not to realize that they are guests in the West. They are aliens in the West, essentially. And they get away with so much. Like, this is just, it's disgusting to me to just see this level of arrogance. Like, you're a guest.
So you can understand now when people got to make, like, a loud sound about these sort of individuals. You've got to make the world alerted from these sort of individuals. And what do? You make a movie, you make this, you make that, you do anything to make individuals aware of actual Islamic terrorism. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think, you know. And I get it. You can hear his anger. You can see.
In America now. And you're so clearly like anti-Western.
Yeah,
we have all the kind of old video clips of.
You come here with your hand out, and you come here with, you know, looking for help, and then you get help, and then you want to be anti it. It's like a proper like spy, like treason. It's like so bad. It's like, why would you do something like that? You want to create a shithole from the shithole you've just run from. No, it will not happen. Good Lord. Give me 1 second. I'll let it run.
Mehdi Hassan. Sharing what he truly believes, like from a number of years ago. But anyway, this is the reality of what we're facing.
Shapiro posted another YouTube video titled, "Are you prepared for the Islamic invasion?" No mention of ISIS or terrorists, just an Islamic invasion. Again, can you imagine how mad Shapiro would have gotten if somebody on the left had put out a video referring to a Jewish invasion?
Yeah, but no, like the Jews, like are not taking over the West, like we're talking about when it comes to Islam, right? Show me the mass migration of Jews taking over every major city in Europe, where the future dominant religion of all of Europe is forecast to be Islam in the next like couple of decades, and certainly by the end of the century. Show me any of this kind of stuff, but you just can't find it. All you have to go off of is these like loose kind of conspiracies that there was a bunch of secret Jews that kind of run the world and run the banks, when if you just do a quick ChatGPT search of like, okay, what's the ethnicity and religion of most like of the people in banking, you're going to see tons of Irish and tons of Indians and tons of Chinese and Japanese and Americans.
I was about to say.
And yes,
I was literally saying this.
These are just kind of.
Sorry, I was saying this while I was in the toilet. I was thinking, bro, yeah, they'll just be like, oh yeah, Zionists, and it's like such an inability for accountability or responsibility. You know, there's a total zero of that, and you can kind of see it from their land. It's full of shit. No one picking up after themselves. It's just full of shit. No one's picking it up. No one will pick it up. You have to. It's like, what the hell? Nah, man. Nah.
Like the conspiracies, the Jews are kind of running the West. Are there influential Jews? Sure.
It's weird.
Are we seeing this same kind of civilizational
it's so strange.
takeover?
Like,
that was
it wouldn't make sense for a movie like that to happen, because it'll be like a fantasy movie. It'll be like Lord of the Rings, and it wouldn't be in the same realm as this. Oh yeah, like a Jewish state and that fucking invading the world, and no, that aligns with literally the actions of what Islamic countries are doing. These individuals that are invading these sort of countries, for a lack of a better word, these people that are infiltrating these countries, they are mostly like Muslim. That's Islamic. What the hell? So he's like trying to get people to say like you can't blame things on Muslims when it's an Islamic ideology. It's a sickness, bro.
Same with Islam? No.
Sickness, bro.
But what I do think may come from this movie, and I'll wrap up on this point, is that we actually could start seeing a kind of tit for tat propaganda movie marathon play out where the Daily Wire makes a movie anti-Islam, and then you got the Muslims making a Hollywood movie about the Jews. And
yeah, it's, you know, I could kind of see that, but I feel like that would be fruitless, really. At the end of the day, it'll be fruitless.
You know, their crimes in Gaza, and so you just get this kind of back and forth kind of propaganda battle. And I think all of this is just a bit, I'm just not that keen for it. And I just think we are at a point now in the society where everything is so politicized, and I'm kind of a bit sad at the idea that movies good movies are so hard to come by now, and that all we now can look forward to is the next few years of propaganda hit pieces for one side of the political fence or the other.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I get exactly what he's saying, but it seems like he just realized that good movies have been, bro, it's been about 10 years, you know, let's be real, maybe more, where it's like solid, good, independent, new idea, new thing. What was the last one that you can remember? We're talking about a whole different sphere here. It's like, these are like politicized movies, you know, trying to nudge the layman that might think, oh no, it's not that bad, to actually realize, oh shit, actually this is in their scripture, this is actually what they believe, this is what it is. This is why, like, the Christian apologetic scene, the apologetic scene in general, which is actually challenging and questioning Islam, is very important for today's day and age. I don't think it has been done, you know, and I say that, and then we start speaking about the Islamic dilemma, and you realize that the Islamic dilemma was actually proposed in the 1st century of Islam. There was a scholar that already proposed that within the 1st century of Islam. So it's not like it's something new. This has always been a conundrum within Islam. This is why, like, in scholarship, Islamic theology is actually not really taken seriously, bro. It's only defended because Allah said so, you know, sort of thing. Where the Quran is true because the Quran said so, sort of vibes. But yeah, it's such an interesting topic to me, bro. I you know, again, I was really ignorant on this sort of stuff until I actually started searching. And when you do search, the stuff you find is actually shocking. That to the point that when you do mention it to another, you know, Muslim who hasn't got a clue, hasn't even read the Quran or whatever, they're just Muslim by name, and you mention this sort of stuff to them, it sounds like you're insulting them. It sounds like you're insulting their religion. Well, that's what the religion says. Allah is the greatest of deceivers. He says that. He is the biggest of deceivers. He says that. He says that if there was a person that didn't sin, he would destroy them, eradicate them from reality, to bring in someone who does sin, so they can beg for forgiveness. Who is the one person that you know in this whole entity game, in this whole spiritual darkness game? Who is the one that tells you that you should sin? It's only Satan. It's like such a deadly thing. But the thing is, when you do explain it to Muslims that haven't read their scripture or anything like that, they doggedly defend it, and they just like you know, and they really don't know what they're talking about, essentially. But all you can do is pray, keep leading them into that path, keep urging them to read, learn. You know what I'm saying? And that's where you begin to step out of it. You begin to shed that yoke, so to speak. But yeah, very interesting one from Ali. I like his view. I always really do. You know, I'll pop this in the description. You'll be able to find it there. Definitely go check it out. Amazing, man.